I'm really excited about this. I've heard a lot about Micheal, and I'm really excited to hear his presentation. So, it's called Thinking Outside the Box, Seeing What's Possible. Everyone wants to think outside the box, but very few know how. As a magician and a mentalist, Karl makes his living by thinking differently and making the impossible possible. Micheal demonstrates his magic and reverse engineers his illusions to help you rethink everyday problem solving. Enhance your thinking, shift your perspective, and discover new strategies to solve problems. Karl, he's a corporate speaker and mentalist for Fortune 500 companies, including Mars, you know we love Mars, candy, Indeed, AT&T, Hilton, woohoo, the Marriott, Priceline, Cablevision, and the NBA. You can hook me up with a couple of players, you know. We'll talk later. He has appeared on several major media channels to demonstrate his ability to predict headlines, duplicate drawings, and read the minds of his audience. Keep it clean. Micheal is constantly asked to speak at corporate events about the psychology of sales, communication skills, body language, and much more. Due to his innate ability to read the human body and its micro signals, in 2008, Micheal demonstrated his unique take on psychology and body language by fooling a polygraph test given to him by local law enforcement. We gonna talk. So if you will, help me to welcome our key speaker for today, Karl.
Thank you so much. I didn't even do anything yet, so I'm flattered. Thank you. So how many people know what a mentalist is by a show of hands? A few of you guys? Okay. You guys are cool then, the 5 of you that raise your hands. You guys are good. How many people have actually seen the show The Mentalist? I heard that, the show. A few more people, right? It's a popular show. Lasted about 9 seasons. It's very similar to that, except I don't fight crime. I don't solve crime or anything like that. We're not hunting any murderers or anything. So what I do is I read body language, facial expressions, and influence people to make certain decisions that are in my favor. So the best way for me to show you what I do is to literally do that and show you what I do. So can I have everybody please stand up for me? Can I have everybody please stand up? What I want you guys to do now, I want you to reach inside your pockets, off the tables, in your handbags, and I want you to find a small object. So a coin would be ideal. It could be a ring off your finger, a crumpled up piece of paper. I'm just giving you a few ideas. Anything that could be concealed in one hand. When you have that object, hold it between your fingers like this, but behind your back. So it's going to look like this. When you have that object, just make sure it could be concealed in one hand, because in a second I'm going to have you come out with both of your hands just like this, and you're going to be hiding the object in one of the hands. But don't do that yet. Are you guys all set? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to find something. All right. So in a second, you're going to come out with both hands, just like this, concealing the objects in one of your hands. But before you do that, sir. Before you do that, my job is to try to influence you which hand I want you to put the object in. Okay, that's how it works. So you have 2 choices. You all should have 2 hands, or as far as I know. But you have 2 choices, a 50-50 shot. You can either put it in the left hand, or you can put it in the right. So it's 2 choices, 50-50, the left hand or the right. Left or the right, make up your mind now. Come out with both hands just like this, concealing the object in one of your hands. Get in the back. We're all set? Okay, great. So when I came out here, you guys have never met me before. You said we're going to play a game. I'm going to try to influence you which hand to choose, right? Which hand to put the object in. So that's going to trigger something in your mind. You're going to say, this guy's not going to beat me. I don't know who he is. This guy just showed up. Who is this guy? You know, he's not going to fool me. I'm going to pay attention to what he says, right? You're going to pay attention to everything that I say, which you should. You should pay attention. And if you notice, I kept raising my left hand. I emphasized the word left. I raised my left hand. I kept emphasizing left. So many of you probably thought I wanted you to put in your left hand. It's actually the exact opposite. So if you have the object in your right hand, you could sit down, you're out of the game. Okay. That's a healthy majority of you. Great. So for those of you that are still standing, Pay attention to those who are sitting, because those are the ones that are easily influenced. Okay? So if you need anything, take a note, write it down. These are the people. All right. And for those of you that are still standing, I want you to go back behind your back with your object, go back and forth, side to side, hand to hand. It's totally your free choice. When you're ready, come out again, concealing the object in one of your hands. Good, good, all right. That time, many of you probably just kept it in the exact same hand, right? The same hand from the first round. So if you kept it in the exact same hand as the first time, you could sit down, you're out of the game. And as you can see, from an audience size of a few thousand of you or so, you're left to a handful. You're left to just a handful. So I will call up a few of you guys I want to use for this. You're going to sit down, that's fine. If you don't want to participate, you don't have to. Would you mind joining me up here, sir? Would you mind coming up here as well? 2. Sir, would you mind coming up here? Are you still in the game? Would you mind coming up here? Who is left? Is it just you two on the ends? Sure, everybody come up here. Sure, the 2 of you guys come up here. That's 6 of you. That's fine. And give them a nice round of applause for helping out. Coming up here. And keep it going because it feels awkward when it stops, so it's all right. And you guys could put whatever object you did have, you could leave it. Oh, we have quite a few of you guys are coming up. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. Great. And your name is Joe?
Yes.
Joe, nice to meet you, Joe. Awesome. Joe, yeah, you guys put whatever object you have away because we're going to use your hands in a second. Now, Joe, over here, I have my necklace. All right. Okay, Joe, I'm going to hand you my necklace. Great.
Thank you.
No problem. It's fine. Joe, what I want you to do is you're going to huddle up with there's 7 of you. Okay, so the 6 of you guys are going to put out your hands just like this. Joe, you're going to decide who gets the necklace, which hand it goes in. It's completely up to you. Right. So you guys you figure out who wants it. When you're done, line up in a row just like you are now. Keep your hands out like we had before. One of you will have the necklace. The rest of you won't. Just make sure whoever has it that it's not hanging out, because obviously you know who has the necklace. That's not cool. So you decide who gets it. Joe, if you want to, you don't have to give it to any of these people. So if you want to keep it for yourself, you could totally keep it for yourself. You could pretend and line up and keep it. It's totally up to you. However, if you do that, it's considered a selfish act. I have to tell you this. I don't know if you want to look selfish in front of everybody. I don't know how well you know them. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's completely up to you. So line up now. Decide who gets it and just line up back in a row. Just huddle up, see who gets it. So we're going to ask them all the same question. I'm going to ask them, do you have the necklace in your left hand? Do you have the necklace in your right hand? For this game, the only answer is going to be yes. Okay, so whether they have the necklace or they don't have the necklace, they're only going to answer yes. So pay attention to their eyes. You're going to notice that the truth tellers tend to look at you while the liars tend to look away. It's kind of how this works. So you can see who's lying, who's telling the truth. You guys all set?
I think so.
All right, just line up in a row. Cool. I'm going to actually come over on this side. Is this microphone? I'm going to grab this if we can use it. Good. Jim.
Yes.
Okay. Can everybody just put your hands out just like this? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to come around, I'm going to ask you all the same question. I'm going to say, do you have the necklace in your left hand? Do you have the necklace in your right hand? For this game, the only answer is yes. So whether you have the necklace or you do not have the necklace, the only answer is going to be yes. Does that make sense? Yes, it should make sense. It's the only answer. Yes, okay. And you're the most likely to call me out. You guys were all here till the end. That's fine. So again, pay attention to their eyes. You're going to notice that the truth tellers tend to look at you while the liars tend to look away. That's kind of how it works. Jim, do you have, hold it straight out. Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Do you have the necklace in your left hand?
Yes.
Jim's pretty good. Jim's pretty good. Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Do you have the necklace in your left hand?
Yes.
Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Left hand?
Yes.
Straight up. Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Left hand?
Yes.
Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Left hand?
Yes.
Do you have the necklace in your right hand?
Yes.
Left hand?
Yes.
Joe, do you have the necklace in your right hand? Do you
Yes.
have the necklace in your left hand?
Yes.
So I lied. I lied to all of you. I knew they would hear it. It's actually the exact opposite, right? So the truth tellers don't have to stare you down because they know that they're telling the truth. When the liars tend to stare you down more to see if you actually believe their lies. It's kind of how it works. I think you can, Erica, can you open both of your hands? I don't believe you have it. I think Jim on the end, can you open both hands? Give him a nice round of applause. Not you guys, though. You guys can take a seat. Just spread out just again. We're going to go through, again, we're going to do a little speed round here. So we're going to play the same game, just speed round. You guys know what I'm looking for now, okay? Do you have necklace in your left hand?
Yes.
Right hand?
Yes.
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 Right hand?
Yes.
Right hand?
Yes.
Left hand?
Yes.
What I was looking for there is a slight pause. There's a little subtle uncertainty. I actually think that both of you guys at the end paused enough. Can you open both hands? You guys, give them a nice round of applause. Thank you so much. Just spread out just a bit. Okay. Now, let's turn this off for a second. I'm going to ask you all the same question. However, this time it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to switch up the game. I want you to answer truthfully, but only in your head. So don't say anything out loud, if that makes sense. Don't say anything out loud. Just if you have the necklace in that hand, think yes. If you don't have it, just think no. Does that make sense? So just think the answer. Okay, so just think in your head only. Do you have the necklace in your left hand? Right hand? You saw that? Yeah, right. Just think the answer. Do you have the necklace in your left hand? Just think in your head. Do you have the necklace in your right hand? Just in your head. Do you have the necklace in your left hand? Just in your head. Do you have the necklace in your right hand? Just in your head. So notice if somebody asks you a question, this is true in life, if somebody asks you a question, you can't not answer it. Right? You might not physically tell these people, if somebody asks you what your name is, what do you do for a living, where do you live, you might not want to tell these people, you might not know who they are. It might be a little sketchy. But you still think the answer, right? You're still thinking in your head. I think you were honest enough to say that you do not. Can you show both hands empty? Thank you very much. Give her a nice round of applause. Thank you. And if you're feeling the burn, you need to hold it down a second. It's up to you, completely up to you guys. So here's where the psychology comes into play, right? So earlier I said to Joe, I said, you could either keep it for yourself or you could give it away. Right? I also said it's a selfish act if you keep it for yourself, so most people would want to give it away because they don't want to look selfish in front of everybody. However, Joe, you were one of the last people left in the room to call me out in the game we played earlier. So you know how I'm working, so maybe you would keep it for yourself, thinking that I would think that most people would give it away. But, however, Joe, you look like a smart guy, so maybe you would give it away, thinking that I would think you would keep it for yourself, because obviously most people would give it away. Joe, I don't think you're a selfish person. Keep your hands closed, but I think you could show both hands empty. I don't believe you have the necklace. You give Joe a nice round of applause. And your name, sir?
Den.
Den? Is that real? Or is that okay. Should I believe you? Okay, Den. I'm assuming you might have this necklace. Unless somebody pocketed it and walked away, that's completely could have happened as well. Then I'm going to give you the option. Pull both hands out. You could either go left over right or right over left. It's completely up to you whenever you're ready, whenever you want. This way or that way. Completely up to you. Perfect. See, where the psychology comes into play, most people would put the guilty hand away from you because they want to hide it. They want to keep it away. But they're not like most people, so they actually were the last people to call me out. So I think they did the exact opposite. Dan, I believe you have the necklace in the closer hand here. Is that correct? Can you open the hand, show the necklace? Nice one. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So, that's a little bit about what a mentalist does. We influence people. We influence to make certain decisions. Now, if you look at the slide here, what most people do when I said go left, what do most people do? They go right, right? It's like the Kansas City Shuffle. When everybody goes one way, you go the other. That's kind of how it works. So most people want to go in the opposite direction. And Den, where's Den? Over there, Den. And you know what? It wasn't you. You were actually great. There's certain signals that I'm reading. A lot of people are going to ask me, how did you know he had it? What did you give away? It wasn't so much you. It was your colleagues. I'm sorry to say it, but everybody up here, as I go down the list, as I go down the line, when I get to Den, everybody's eyes just gravitate. And they're in their head, they're like, don't screw it up. Don't mess this up. Don't screw this up for us. Because Den is really the only one that could mess it up, because he's the one that has it. So if somebody else screwed it up, it wouldn't matter. They didn't have it anyway. So I believe you're the direct reflection of the top 5 people that you spend time with. So if you surround yourself with the right circle of influence, the right people that can help you get from point A to point B, then that's what's really going to get you there. And in order to do that, a lot of times you need to be a positive influence on others. So to surround yourself with the right people, and that's why you're all here now. Because you took that first step, and the first step is to believe that it's possible. So you believe that whatever you wanted to do in life, that brought you here. That was the first step, to come here, to surround yourself with the right people. So take advantage. You have all day, but it's half over, so take advantage. Really, to meet people and network and understand your colleagues and where they're coming from. And surround yourself with the right people. And sometimes you're with the wrong ones, and I was as well. And you have to let them go. You know, we all make friends when we're kids. And we have our friends in our circle. But eventually we outgrow that circle. And I'm a big advocate in adults making friends. We don't make enough friends these days. We do when we're kids. But sometimes you have to find those new people that can help you get to where you want to go. And if you're around the people that are going to call you out like this, it might not be the right group. Not that you guys did anything wrong. But that's how it works. So a lot of people ask me, how did I get started in this? I was talking to a few people outside in the hallway. Like, how did you get started into magic? How did you do that? Let me tell you guys a quick story. So I got started like most kids. There's 2 ways that most people get started into magic. As a kid, they either see a magician or they got a magic kit. That's basically how it works. So at 6 years old, my mother got me a magic kit. We were in Toys R Us, and I wanted a magic kit. So I got a magic kit, and I was playing with magic all through my childhood. About 18, when I was 18, I was going to college. Now, everybody's going to tell you what you can't do. If somebody can't do something themselves, they're going to tell you can't do it. I heard it all my life. You can't be a magician. How is that going to pay the bills? You can't be a magician. Is this your real job? Is this what you do? Or you can't be a professional athlete. I also played sports. You can't be an astronaut. Whatever it is, people are going to tell you what you can't do. So if you surround yourself with those people, with those limited beliefs, you start to believe that. So I figured, well, you know, magic might not be my career. So what I did, my mother was a behavioral scientist. She worked in the school systems in New York City, studying behavior in the children and understanding what they do, why they do it, and to try to help them, the other schools, to understand their kids better, to understand their behaviors and their issues. So I figured, well, if I could understand people, I was always around that as a child. If I could better understand people and understand why they do what they do, but yet influence them. If I could be that influencer to make certain decisions, that's going to help me in life, right? I might not be able to be a magician, but if I could influence, if I'm on a job interview, I could influence someone to hire me, I get a job, right? If I see a girl and I could influence her to go out with me, I could get a girlfriend, right? That's kind of how it works. And tomorrow, I'm actually newlywed. I've just got married. Tomorrow will be 2 months. So tomorrow will be 2 months. Yes. Thank you so much. I influenced her to say yes. So it worked, see? It all worked. But I got into the psychology of it. I got into influence. And in 2008, this is in college, I was working for Verizon Wireless. So I was selling cell phones. I'll give you a quick story. I was selling cell phones at Verizon Wireless. How many people have Verizon? Anybody? Verizon was the biggest. Now they're still pretty big. They're still one of the biggest. So if I was working at the store, if you came into my store, any of the stores, and you wanted to get a new phone or change your plan or anything, you come in, you give me your phone number, I type it into the computer, all your information would come up. Where you live, what kind of phone you have, what kind of plan, I could change it, do everything for you. However, if you forgot your phone number, which happens, especially then, there was no text messages wasn't big and internet wasn't big on the phones, then you come in, you give me your name and the city you live in. I could type it in and mostly find your name, your info, unless there's multiple of you. right? So if I were to type in Oprah Winfrey Chicago, unless there's multiple Oprah Winfreys in Chicago, I could most likely get her number. Or Derek Jeter, New York. Whatever it is, you could type that in and get these people's information. You weren't supposed to, but you could. So in 2008, a very historic thing happened. Barack Obama won the election to become the first black president. So Obama won the election. This kid decides to type into the computer Barack Obama Chicago. Just so you know, there's not that many people named Barack Obama, at least in Chicago. I don't know, maybe elsewhere. So he decided to type it in, and the number came up. So this kid decides to call Obama from the store phone on speaker to congratulate him for being the first black president. It sounds fine, right? Why wouldn't you do that? So he puts the phone on speaker, he dials the number, the phone rings. We're sitting there like, he's not going to pick up. Rings again. There's no way Obama's picking up this phone. Maybe it's a different Obama. Rings again, eventually goes to voicemail. The voicemail said, "Hi, you have reached the voicemail of Senator Barack Obama." So we got the right one, he was a senator at the time. "If this is an emergency, you could reach me on my BlackBerry at such and such number." People had BlackBerries, I know. So the kid's like, you know what? Let's call the BlackBerry, why not? Let's call the bat phone. From the store, he dials the number, it rings. Again, I'm like, there's no way this guy's gonna pick up the phone. It rings again. There's no way he's picking up. Rings a third time. Obama picks up. Hello? It's like, congratulations, bro, I knew you could do it. Obama's like, who is this? How did you get this number? Who is this? You could do it, man. More power to you. You got this. Obama's like, I don't know who this is. Hangs up the phone on the kid. Very next day, Secret Service show up to our store. It's all true. You could look this up. Look at 2008 breach in security, Verizon, Obama, type in those words. It's at the Bay Terrace Shopping Center in Bayside, Queens, where I live, where I worked. They pulled everybody to the back. They shut us down for the entire day. Closed the doors, shut us down for the entire day. They brought us all to the back, looked through surveillance footage. If you were seen looking at the number, you were terminated. They didn't play, especially when he was the first black president. They don't play. Well, presidents alone, but especially him. If you had login codes, so we had login codes to keep track of sales. So if you logged in and looked at that number, you were terminated. They told us to pull our cars around the back, searched our cars, went through everything. I was on the footage of the video camera, but they saw the back of my head. Apparently, my back of my head looked similar to back of a lot of heads, maybe. It's not very special. So they didn't know who it was. So they hooked us up. They actually hooked me up to a polygraph test. This is where the polygraph test comes into play. So they hooked me up to a polygraph test. And I had a quick decision in my head. I said, I can't lose my job. I know what you guys go through with WorkSource. And in 2008, it was a bad recession. I'm in New York. I have a job. I have to pay for my school. How am I going to do this? I can't. So I had a quick decision to say, well, I could lie to the polygraph test, right? I could try. I've seen Seinfeld. You guys Seinfeld fans? Right? The words of George Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it. Totally true. Completely true. I was like, okay, I could do this. I know how to influence people. I could read people. I know what they're looking for. I'm going to go for it. Looking back at it, it was probably the stupidest thing. I don't know what the penalty is for that. Lying to the Secret Service. But they hooked me up to a polygraph test, asked me questions if I saw the number, also asked me questions about my family, relationships, all these personal things. So what I did is I lied through the polygraph test. I passed. I fooled the Secret Service, and I got to keep my job for 3 months. Then I got fired. Had absolutely nothing to do with the polygraph test. Absolutely nothing. But at the time, there was a company called Alltel Wireless, if anybody remembers, and Verizon just bought out Alltel Wireless. So they had a deal saying, if you buy us out, you have to keep our employees. You can't just fire our employees, you have to keep them on. So what does Verizon do? They fire the tenure employees like myself who gets paid more, and they pay them less money. It's like business 101. So they're like, sorry, Mike, you're out on the street, gave me a little severance package, kicked me out the door. And I walked into a place where many of you maybe work, looking for a job, trying to get help. And it was struggling, and it was tough. It was a really bad time in 2008. So what did I do? I took the severance package, and I said, you know what? Many of us say we want to take that next step. We want to take that leap. But many of us don't believe it's possible, or have limited beliefs, or people holding us back, that circle of influence that maybe tell you you can't do something. So I said it's now or never. So many people are waiting for the right time. Like, well, when I pay off a few of my bills, then I'll do it. When I save a few more dollars, then I'll do it. Or I have some issues at home. When that's all resolved, then I'll do it. But you know what? When's the best time? The best time was 12 months ago. You know what? And you missed it. You missed your opportunity. Sorry. That's the way it is. But the second best time is now. The second best time is today. So I stepped up to that ledge, and I said, I'm going to put everything I have into this to make it work. I took whatever severance package I ever had, and what did I have to do? I had to surround myself with the right people. So I knew I could do magic. I just fooled the Secret Service. I was like, hey, I could do this. I don't know if that's a living, but I could fool people. So I figured I have something here, but I didn't know how to do a website or business cards or marketing. So I had to surround myself with those people. So I needed a marketing guy. I befriended a marketing guy. How can I bring value to you? How can I add value to your life? If you're always helping other people get what they want, how could they not help you in return, right? So find something that someone else that's holding them back, and see if you could become their solution provider and really help them solve their problems. And that's where it came. So from there, I developed all this marketing materials. I ended up getting a job on cruise ships. I traveled around on cruise ships as a magician and entertainer. In 2009, I became one of the official magicians of the Orlando Magic, the basketball team. That's when I worked for the NBA. Got some players for you, don't worry. Still in touch, we got you. So became one of the official magicians of the Orlando Magic, which at the time, now they're terrible basketball team. At the time, though, however, 2009, if anybody recalls, they went to the NBA Finals. They actually went to the finals, lost to the Lakers, but I was at all their games. I met like Tiger Woods. There was like Chris Brown sitting next to Rihanna. I wouldn't put them next to each other now, but back then it was cool. So I met all these people, celebrities and corporate sponsors, and what I do, I started putting them in my top 5 and seeing how can I bring value to them? How can I add value to people? We live in a relationship world, and many of you know people have their jobs because of a friend that maybe referred them or helped them get that. So if you can always bring value to people, maybe you never know when that tide turns and you need something for yourself, then you're always asking. But if you're always helping, you never even have to ask. That's how it works. So I've surrounded myself with the right people and eventually started performing on land again all over and got into speaking several years ago, which brings me here today to speak to all you guys. So that's why I'm here today. But many people say to me, oh, but Mike, I can't do what you do. You have this gift. You're like a magician, like a warlock, a wizard. You know, like, I can't do that. How do you do that? You were born with this. No. It doesn't work that way. I wasn't born with any of these things. I put the work in. You see, there's a great quote by Teller of Penn and Teller. He's the little one who doesn't talk. Apparently he gave a quote, though, so he must talk sometimes. He said, magic is just someone spending more time on something than anyone would reasonably expect. Okay? So I will urge you, where can you spend more time on something in your life, in your work, in your family, than anyone would reasonably expect you to make that thing magic? Where can you do that? Now, I'd like to share with you the longest piece that ever took me. This took me 7 years to develop. And I had to put the work in. And I want to share this piece with you. You know what, before we do this, is there anyone here that I can trust? Anyone that I can trust here? Den, yeah, right, Den. I don't even know if that's his real name. I'm going to come out to you. Should I not trust? Should I not trust? You're okay? Okay. What I want you to do is just think of a number, a 2-digit number. Think of a 2-digit number, but make it above 20. so not a teen number. Anything above 20. What I want you to do is just write it nice and big right here just so we could all see it, and just you could either tear the paper off, put the pad down, just hold on to it, just don't let me see it. Perfect. And I'm going to take this paper ball. I'm going to throw it into the audience. Whoever catches it, just hold on to it. Okay? We're going to start on this side. We'll go over here. Catch it. Just hold on to it. Did I hit anybody? Got it. Great catch. Awesome. Now, and your name, sir? Will. See, I don't want everybody to think I was in some over-the-head paper bowl throwing contest. I won first place. I knew Will was sitting there. I threw it right to you. We set this up. So, Will, what I want you to do is throw that randomly anywhere you'd like. Perfect. And you can throw that randomly anywhere you'd like. We'll throw this a few times. Perfect. No. We're going to keep. Would you like to help out with this? So keep the paper ball where it is. You keep it at your table. And please join me up here if you'd like to help out. And give her a nice round of applause. Leave the ball. Leave the ball where it is. Just throw it out there, anywhere you like. Great. Please come up here. And your name? Karen. Karen. Nice to meet you, Karen. Michael. Nice to meet you. Don't worry. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. Karen. Karen, over here, I have 3 #1 best-selling books, okay? So if you like horror, I have Stephen King's The Shining. Have you ever read the book? Seen the movie? No? Okay, I'm sure. Anybody read the book, see the movie? Okay, it's pretty popular, okay. I have Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code. Have you read or seen that one? Read that one? Okay. Read the book, see the movie? Awesome. Tom Hanks, yep. And I have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Seems to be a favorite. Have you read this or seen the movie? Okay. Karen, I'm going to give you the option to choose any one of these 3 books. So whichever one you choose, I'll give it to you. You can either choose The Shining, The Da Vinci Code, or Harry Potter. It's completely up to you. Which one would you like to go with? Harry Potter? Sure. I'm going to give you that. Now, Karen, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to give you just one chance. Just once. See, I don't want you going home tonight. And you're in bed and you're rolling around. You're like, man, I can't sleep. If I only chose the Da Vinci Code or The Shining, this whole thing would have worked out differently. So I will give you the option one time. You could either stay with Harry Potter, it's completely fine, or you could switch to either one of these. It's completely up to you. What would you like to do? So you're going to stay with Harry Potter? Perfect. Does that feel like a free choice? Did it feel like a free choice? Yeah, it should. Okay, good. Okay. Perfect. Now, Karen, what I want you to do is, I want you to take the book, and I want you to open it up to a random page. Just open it up to a random page and keep it to yourself. Don't tell us what page you're on. Right? And what I want you to do is you're going to see a left side, and you're going to see a right side. I want you to choose a side. What I want you to do is I want your eyes to scroll down the page, and I want you to settle on a word. But this isn't just going to be any word. Make sure it's a nice big word, not like it, the, then, none of the character names. I know the character names. So anything nice and big, if there's 7 or 8 letters or more, multiple syllables would be great. So any big words on that page. If you want to change your mind a couple times, go ahead and find a word. Is there anything on that page? You got something? No, there is something on that page. Okay. Do you have a word? You chose one? Do you know what the word means? It wouldn't matter either way. Don't tell us the word, but do you have a word do you know what it means? Okay, all right, it wouldn't matter either way, but you know the word. Okay, just close the book and we can put it down. Now, what I want you to do is very important. I want you to think of the first letter of the word. Just the first letter. And what you're going to do is you're going to start from one side of the room, and you're just going to scan. And you're going to shout your letter in your head. Don't say anything out loud. Just send them your letter. So just send your letter and go from one side all the way to the other side. Now, as Karen comes across you, just like this, I want you to shout. Just shout the first letter that comes to your mind, not you. You're going to, just in your head, you're going to send it to them in the head. Shout the first letter that comes to your mind, okay? We're going to see how good you could be sending and how good you guys are receiving. So as you're ready, just start from one side and go right to the other. And just, you might want to use this just for as a antennas or reception. Sometimes it helps better. So just like that. Perfect. Go ahead, when you're ready. Two work better than one. That's how it works. Two work better than one. Good. Karen, did you hear your letter? No, okay. Below average room here, okay. Karen, what was the first letter? I'm giving you the okay now. What was the first letter? F. Okay. Did anybody here say F? You did say F. Okay. Anybody else? Well, you might be a mind reader. You might be a mind reader. Yeah? Yeah? We could try this, sure. You know what? I want you to send your word, but this time what I want you to do is say it in your head in syllables. So say the word, I'll give you a demonstration. If the word was superstition, you'd be saying superstition. In your head only, don't say anything out loud. So just say it in syllables and say it to you. If you want to try to get something here, although we know it is an F. So, wait, it's not a bad word, right? Okay. Okay, I have to ask, I'm sorry. What word are you thinking? Fantastic? Was it fantastic? No, okay, I'm sorry. Well, we can do this all day. This guy shot. Karen, look right here. And keep saying it in your mind in syllables. Do you know how many syllables there are? In your mind, don't say anything out loud. In your mind, just say the number of syllables right now. In your mind, okay, thank you. Perfect. Perfect. This is a pretty big word. Can you guys read that? What word that is? Okay, I think it has to be this. I'm pretty sure it has to be this. You guys see this? I don't even know if I spelt it right. Possibly not, but you guys know what this is? Okay, good. Karen, I will give you this in a nice loud voice or to the microphone. Can you tell everybody the word that you chose from the book?
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted?
Yeah.
Flabbergasted it is. It has to be. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much. Give it up for Karen. Flabbergasted. It had to be flabbergasted. So that took me 7 years to develop. I saw Penn and Teller do this when I was a child, and I said, how did they just give a book, random book out to anybody, and they knew what word it was? How is that possible? And I said, that's what I want to do. The sentence? I don't know the sentence. But I said, that's what I want to do. I want to learn that. I want to know how to do that. So what did I do? I studied for 7 years to try to figure out how can I do this. And just to give you a little thought process about how you reverse engineer a problem, you must first know where you want to go. So if you don't know where you want to go, you're never going to get there. So I knew that's the trick I wanted to do. So what did I do? Say roughly, I give a book. Say roughly, I don't know, 100,000 words in this book. So how do I know what word it is? Well, if you notice, I said open to a random page. I kept saying random. So what is a random page? Usually somewhere in the center, right? So the first 25% will be out, and the last 25% will be out. So maybe 100,000 words gets down to 50,000 words. I was stuck there for so long, for years, until I met someone who gave me a different perspective. And that aha moment, that light came, and he said to me, you know what? He was outside of my industry. He was in the education industry, and he said, what if you asked him to choose a longer word? See, longer words visually on the page look different than shorter words. So if you go with a longer word, now maybe most of the book is actually shorter words. So maybe that 50,000 words gets down to 10,000 words. And then I was stuck there. And then the next step will blow your mind when I learned this years later. But I can't share that with you because then I would give it away. So I don't want to give that away. But that's the thought process that goes into it. It's seeing a new perspective. Just to uncover a new perspective. And when everybody says, when I'm doing the work to come up with this trick, to all this thing, you guys just see this, right? You're just seeing me do this, but you wouldn't see that 7-year span, right? That 7 years that it took me to do this. You just see the success, but you don't see the failure, all the attempts, tries, the people I had to reach out to do it. Same thing with your business, with your work and your family. Everybody has those problems, but you're always going to put your best foot forward. So you're going to see the success. Everybody else is going to see that, but they don't see all the work and the time, the effort that it takes to become something. If you want to take a picture, I'll let you get the iceberg principle. Go ahead. But what I needed is a different perspective, just a little shift in my perspective, right? Because just because you're right doesn't mean the other person's wrong, right? So many times when we're looking at something from that silo mentality, we're stuck in our ways, we're trying to solve that problem, but we can't solve it with the same thought process that came up to make that problem. So we have to collaborate. So collaboration leads to innovation. The more perspectives we have, that's powerful. Perspective is power. The more we collaborate, the more we innovate. Does anybody know what this is? Can anybody see or call out what you see right here? Face? Someone said liar? Does everybody see both? How about now? Perfect. This was actually the back of my business card. You see, but some people are more visual, some people are more verbal. Some people see different things. It also depends on how I handed out the business card. That also helps. However, it's all about perspective. See, maybe some of you saw the face but didn't see liar or vice versa, but once you were told the other one, now you can't unsee it. Right? Now you're always going to see it. So to see things from a new perspective. Just times you just need that little tweak. Now, where is that paper ball? Somebody else threw it? You have it? You mind joining us? You can leave the paper ball where it is. Give her a nice round of applause. Your name? What's it? Sean. Sean, just stand right over here. Okay, perfect. Are you an Android guy or an iPhone guy? iPhone. Awesome. I'm just going to give you my iPhone. I'm going to just open the calculator. Hold on to this. Okay. Don't do anything yet. Who has the paper ball over there? Can you, I'm going to ask you to throw it in a second. But before you do that, I want everybody in here to think of a number between 1 and 60. Okay, so just think of a number between 1 and 60. Get it in your mind. And the ball, are you thinking of a number? Sure. What number are you thinking of? 33. Perfectly. Can you just put in 33? And throw that ball anywhere you'd like. Now, all I ask is if you hear a number called out, just change it to a new number, okay? So 33, what number would you like? Yeah. Yes, that'd be good. What is it? 48. Don't do anything yet. You could either choose to divide, multiply, minus, add 48 to that. Okay, so we're going to write 33 and 48. You got, I don't know, did you do it?
I did do it, yeah.
Okay, don't hit. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I can do it again.
So we're going to go, what did we do here? Hold on a second. Yeah, right? We're going to, so we had 33. What did you do before multiply by 48? Okay, equal that. Okay, now who has the ball? Okay, throw it anywhere you like. And what number would you like? 5? Okay. Whatever you'd like to do to 5, whether it's, cool. Throw that anywhere you'd like. We're going to write 5 here. $11. Sure, whatever you'd like to do to 11. Go ahead, throw that anywhere you'd like. You're at 11. 26. Sure, one more time. And the last number. Your last number. We already had 5. Sure. So whatever you'd like to do to 2. And all I'm going to ask you to do then is divide the whole thing by 50. And get one big number. Now can you read me that? Is that a pretty big number? Hold on. 3. What is it? Well, 7, 1, what is it? Oh, 721. 721, 728. Awesome. Sure, okay. Sean, you're relieved.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for helping out. All right. That was easy enough. However, the person with the paper ball, where is it? I'm going to hand this out to you. All I want you to do is open up that paper ball and read out loud what it says on there. Can you read out loud in a nice voice what it says?
No way. Okay. 3,
3,
7,
7,
2,
2,
1,
1,
7,
7,
2, 8.
8. What I had up here was 3, 7, 2, 1, 7, 2, 8.
Wow.
Was my prediction beforehand. So thank you all for choosing the right numbers. Thank you all for choosing that. Where did I put? Sometimes it just takes a little perspective. But the next thing is overcoming impossibilities, right? The first thing I said to you is you have to believe that anything is possible to take that step. And then you're overcoming impossibilities. Now, what is one of the most impossible things that people think? It's actually this is one of the most impossible. That's actually the prediction of winning the Powerball lotto ticket. Okay. And it is impossible, right, but people do it. It's not improbable. It's more improbable, but it's not impossible. My father plays it every day. He hasn't won yet, but he still plays it. And another impossible thing that happened in my life was this. Does anybody know what this is? The Starry Night. Starry Night. It's a picture of the Starry Night, and it hangs above my desk. It's actually not a picture, but a jigsaw puzzle. Right? It's a 2,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that took me nearly 3 years. It took me and my wife nearly 3 years to complete this puzzle. And you might ask, why? I mean, look at all the colors. They're exactly the same. Like, it's blues and yellows. How are you supposed to do that? 2,000 pieces, it's almost impossible. But it's obviously not. But what makes it more impossible is when you have those people that tell you what you can't do, that hold you back, that steal your pieces. I had somebody like that in my life. Literally stole the pieces of my puzzle. They would come in the middle of the night and take the pieces and mess up the puzzle and hide them where I couldn't find them. Literally, they would do this. I had a roommate who did this just to mess with me so that I couldn't finish this puzzle. And I was like, why would you do something like that? You made something that is so impossible by its own, with the colors, way more impossible. I was furious. I flipped out at this person. This person is my cat, Karl. That's Karl. I love you, buddy. I do. I do love him. But try doing a 2,000-piece puzzle with a cat around. They jump up on the table, steal the pieces, run away. I don't know where they go. It makes it more impossible. And this is a literal thing, but it's also metaphorical where people try to interrupt you in your life or steal your pieces, mess with your puzzle that you're trying to build for your future. And that comes back to that top 5, to make sure you have those right people Now, I'm not going to disown Karl. I love him. But there's still pieces I can't find. I actually finished it, and if you look, there's a missing piece right in the middle. I don't know where it is. Karl took it. One day when I move or sell a house or something, I'll find it under the radiator or the oven or something, where my pieces are. But what I did is I hung this puzzle above my desk, like I said, because I sit there every day when I do my work. And whenever I come to a problem, I feel overwhelmed, and I say, I can't do this anymore. I have to send another email, another proposal, another phone call, whatever it is I have to do. I just look up, and I see my puzzle, and I say, if I could do that, then I could accomplish anything. And me and my wife, we're puzzle people. So when it took us 3 years, we were pissed. I'll explain to you how crazy we are with puzzles. They actually sell a puzzle mat that you could put your puzzle and you could roll it up and take it with you on the road. So we took it on vacation. Like, who does puzzles on vacation? But we do. We take it on vacation so we could do our puzzle. You know, that's how crazy we are. And then we move on to the next one and the next puzzle. But how do you build your puzzle? Same thing in life. You have to know the outcome. You have to know where you're going. So what do? On the box, there's a picture. Or inside, there's a picture. So you know where you're going. And then what do? You start with the borders. The borders of your puzzle. And then when you build that, you start separating the colors. And you start filling it in. So things that might seem so overwhelming in your lives, if just broken down into steps, it's not impossible. It can be done if you just break it down to steps. Then you have a completed puzzle that I now hang on my wall. In every room, I have all different puzzles. It might be weird, I know. But I have different puzzles throughout the house that I get to hang on my wall. So I do want to finish a missing puzzle piece that I have with you guys right now. So I do want to finish that. But just to let everybody know, if you do want to continue any conversation, you can connect with me on Facebook. You can email me. I do have a special gift for any of you guys. If you do want it, I created a top 10 list. So I made a video of a top 10 list of how to become a person of influence. How to become that person to attract others around you that are going to help you get where you want to go. So I made this video for you. It's a top 10 list of skills you could apply instantly. They're very easy. I do these things every day to get me where I was, to get me where I am. And I will give you this list for free. All I need, I'll put out a basket in a second. After this, just drop off a business card. There's no obligation. I'm not putting you on a list or spamming or anything. If you don't want the list, the email, just drop it in the basket. However, if you do want to work together or do something in the future or want more info, just write info on the back of the card, and I'll make sure somebody reaches out to you. But I do want to finish a missing puzzle piece that I have with you guys. I have somebody else thinking of a number. Who was? You were thinking of a number. Can you please stand? Do you need your glasses? Oh, can you take them off right now? Can you see at all? Can you see me? Okay. Did you show anybody your number? Did anybody see it? Did you guys peek? You saw. Oh. Well, you're not that good at hiding it. That's fine. That's fine. I want you to think of your number, and I want you to think of just the first digit. Only the first digit of it. Say it in your mind. Don't say anything out loud. Okay, say it in your mind. Look at me, though. Keep your eyes open. Look at me. Think of your number. I'm going to go through them. Just keep thinking of yours. Okay? So it could be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. I kind of lost your interest, so it's probably a lower number. That kind of smirk confirms it. Thank you very much. Perfect. What I want you to do is think of the second number. Think of the second number. Keep saying it in your mind, just in your head. Think of the second number. Now, second number in a 2-digit number could be 0. Right? It could be a 0. So I'm just going to go through them. Keep thinking of yours. It could be a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. I don't have your interest yet. 5, a 6, 7, 8, or 9. And the whole number? Don't say it. Perfect. Okay. There you go. You can put your glasses back on. I think we're good. Can you see these numbers with the glasses? Good, perfect. You have the microphone is still there? grab that microphone. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, okay? They're all yes. Not at all, not at all. To the best of your ability, all I want you to do is answer yes or no. To the best of your ability, and if you're kind of confused with the question, just to the best of your ability, answer yes or no, because there might be a follow-up question that might answer what you're confused about, okay? So to the best of your ability, do you see your number on this board?
No.
What? Not even to save the whole show or anything? Like, no, you don't? Do you see both digits separately?
Am I supposed to tell you?
Yeah, well, just yes or no, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, okay. In different boxes, I guess. Mm-hmm. Are those boxes touching? I'm trying to fish for something here. That's what I'm doing. No, I'm trying to save this. Okay, thank you. No, at all. Well, what was the number you were thinking?
Tell you the number?
Yeah.
The number I wrote here?
That would help, yeah. The actual number, yeah.
I thought you were supposed to guess it.
I'm trying here. I'm struggling.
28.
28. Okay. Do you see your number now?
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much. You should see it. It's I just wrote it on top, so you should see it right there. However, did you feel me influence you to choose 28?
No.
Going back to influence, you didn't, right? It felt like a free choice, right? It should. That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you. But sometimes you just need a different perspective. See, I was always bad in math. I was terrible in math, or at least I thought I was. My teachers gave me bad grades, so I figured I was bad in math. But I just saw numbers differently. I had to show them the perspective that I was looking at, and that's what I want to show you guys right here. So I knew your number was 28. I wanted to show it to you in a very unique way. If you take 8 and 1, that's 9. Add 12 and 7, it's 21 plus 7 is going to give you 28. If you take 11 and 8, that's 19. Add another 7, you're going to get 26. Add 2, you're going to get 28. 5 and 10 is 15 plus 3 is 18. Add 10 to 18, you're going to get 28. 4 and 9 plus 6 and 9 is going to give you 28.
Wow.
Right? But that wouldn't be that impressive, right? Horizontally? No. I went vertically. Check this out. 8, 11, 5, and 4, going to give you all 28. 9 and 10, 19, plus 8, 27, and 1, 28. 6, 3 is 9, 7, and 12, going to give you 28. 9, 10, 2, and 7, do the math, that's 28. Right? Horizontally, vertically, again, not enough for you. For you, I went diagonal. I did this diagonally just for you. 8, 8, 3, and 9, going to give you 28. 4, 10, 7, and 7, going to give you 28. A lot of people always tell you, you're thinking inside the box, you got to go outside the box, right? I did that all for you. I thought inside the box. These 4 right here, 8, 7, 3, and 10, going to give you 28. For fun, I gave you the 4 corners. 4, 9, 7, and 8 is 28. Any mirror image, you want to take these 2 at the bottom plus these 2 at top, side to here, diagonally there, diagonally here, or diagonally here. There are actually 72 different ways to get to 28. I won't go through them now, but do you see your number on the board? You should, and the first step, you might see everything up here as impossible.
28.
But you have to take that first step. Everything up here might look impossible.
Wild.
If you put the work in and take the first step is to believe that anything is possible, you can achieve it. My name is Micheal Karl. Thank you so much. Thank you.